Hello, everybody. Welcome back to quarantine. It never really went away, did it? After I put out my quarantine game video, my friend Mark sent me a message saying, "Hey, I watched your video, and then on Steam I saw an advertisement for this game called CyberTaxi. Looks pretty similar to Quarantine, you should check it out." And I agreed. It did look the same. And I noticed it came out October 30th of this year. And so what are the odds of that? So I started playing this game, and Mark, you are not correct. This game isn't similar to Quarantine for the 3DO. This is the same exact freaking game. It's just an unofficial remake. I mean, sure, there are some differences. It's bizarre. It's bonkers. I didn't know people could do stuff like this. Just be like, hey, you know that game that came out 25 years ago? Let's just make it. No one's gonna care. That's what they did. They don't care. They're Eastern European or Russian, I would assume, based on their accents. Because I would assume the guy who made this game also did the voiceovers. So the first difference you'll notice is that you get to pick a car, and different colors have different perks. I'm just gonna let this intro thing run because I think it's important that you listen to this guy.
Central Europe, Gumbricorp, a monocorp consisting of droids and corrupted human representatives, takes over the part of the globe. Future in Europe is full of terrorism, psychos, mobbers, slugs, thugs, thieves, drugs, rapists, kidnappers, lunatic murderers. All of this due to new hydrogen drug which turned people into psychotic maniacs. As a taxi driver, you have to complete various missions and drive with lunatic customers who belong to different factions in order to unlock access to Gumbricorp gates. Use these gates to travel to next districts. This may be your only chance to run away from this hideous city.
Alright, so the game starts up. There's one feature in the original game that I forgot to mention, and it's looking out the side windows and doing drive-bys. You could do that in the original game. I just never showed any footage of it because I only did it like once or twice, and then I forgot about it. But so that is in the original. Other than that, the game is pretty much the same. You drive around, you pick up people, they ask you to do something, you drive to that thing on your map, and you drop them off. I have noticed there's a couple different mission types in this game. Sometimes you have to go to the marker and kill a guy, or sometimes you have to go to the marker and blow up a building, so it's slightly different. And there's like reputation points with factions, so again, very slightly different than the original. I will give it that. They also added an ability skill tree, so every few missions you do, you can get another point and put it into that. But it is basically the same game. You drive around, you drop people off, you get money, you go to places to get new weapons, repair your thing, buy armor. It is it's the same game. I will say the compass only shows your mission objective when you're looking directly at it. So it doesn't have a little indicator on the sides of the compass which direction you're supposed to go. So the compass is almost useless. You should really just use the map. The map does not pause the game like in the other one, and it loads immediately. So you basically just keep one finger on the map button and just toggle it on and off all the time while you're driving. It's kind of irritating, and it could be fixed by just having a mini map, but it's fine. Another nice thing about this game is that you can actually show the people on the map that you can pick up. So you're not just driving around randomly, you can actually just go to where the next person is. So that's cool. And basically, after you do 55 of these little missions, or less, depending on what perk you have, then you can go to the next area of the city. This game's a little janky, just like the original. I'll give it that. It keeps the soul of jank alive. They added physics to this game, so that's cool. Or sometimes when you hit something or a car runs into you, you'll just flip out and fly into the sky. If that happens while the map screen is open, your dot on the map flips out and just flies all over the place. That's cool. I would say that once you get to the park, you kind of hit your stride with this game. It kind of starts feeling like the original. Like, I can truly feel that zen moment click in where you just listen to some chill tunes. I'll say that. The music in this game is very relaxed. Unlike the weird alternative music from the first one, this one just got some techno beats, some synth music. Some of the tracks sound pretty similar to some of the tracks I've heard on some Soviet wave playlists on Spotify. Yeah, the more I played this game, the more I felt like it could have been a sequel that was canceled, that was supposed to come out in between 1998 and 2002, and it just never did. And they're like, oh, we found this. Let's just release it now. And I never got to run especially well. It's made with Unity, so, it is what it is. Yeah, after the park, you go to the old city, just like old Chemo. Like, they just took the original game and remade it. They even used the same name for the drug that made everybody go crazy. I will say they added, a decent variety of weapons, like the nuke launcher. That's cool. An electric revolver. I'm not really sure what that means. A lightsaber for your car. Whenever you blow up an enemy car, they just immediately turn into a pile of rubble. There's no animation. It's just like one frame, the car model is there, and the next frame, the pile of rubble is there. So that's kind of cool. Once I got to the projects, it's still a raging hellscape. And you really just kind of get into this zen groove in this game. Like, I would just kind of buckled down and I looked, and then all of a sudden it was like a couple hours later. It's I have to commend them with how well they captured the spirit of the original game. I don't know if that was their intention. I mean, they wanted clearly to just make another Quarantine game. That much is clear, or remake it. But they somehow captured the spirit of the original. It's janky. It kind of runs poorly. Your car controls poorly. Everything's just a little not great, but it's also very relaxing and fun. And I have to say, for a game I didn't even know existed until earlier this week, and now I've played Quarantine, Quarantine 2, and CyberTaxi, I feel like I'm turning into some sort of unofficial expert in this series. I kind of want to go back and play more Quarantine 2 now, just to see how that goes. Oh man, this quarantine life, it sucked me in. So, anyway, in this game, there's no wharf level. There's just 4 levels instead of 5. So at the end of the projects, you go to like the evil corporation's base and just run a gauntlet. And at the end of that gauntlet, there's one of the evil robots from the wharf level in the first game. So they did recreate that. They just made it like a boss battle. And then you kill it and you leave. And that's the end of the game. And then when you leave the city, you don't even get like a cool cutscene or anything. You just get this little wall of text that tells you that the game's over and you live happily ever after or whatever in your little taxi. And that's it. That's it. That's CyberTaxi. It's basically an unofficial fan remake of Quarantine. So bizarre. I don't know how the stars aligned for me to find this game and find Quarantine in general. All when this was first coming out. It's just bizarre happenstance. And when I found out that this game was so close to the game I had just randomly played, I had to play it. It felt like fate. And I don't know, man. It's fine. If you want to spend a few bucks and play this game and don't, or if you thought Quarantine for the 3DO or DOS looked fun and you don't want to set up DOSBox, you don't want to get a 3DO, then play this. It's fine. The first one was fine. It's not a great game, but it's fun. I enjoyed it. You know, there it is. Spooky, right? Quarantine. All right, I don't know what the heck. I'm rambling now. Talk to you guys later.